Going on, guys? Tuesday, July 5th. I'm coming to you from Atlanta. We on the road a little bit for a couple of days and then back home. So again, still hunting down more and more inventory, creating more opportunity. That's the whole goal here. And for some reason, the signal here is tough enough. I've tried to get the share screen to work, but it's just not. So I'm going to have to describe to you what's going on. But as far as what's happening in the markets, the mortgage-backed securities are looking fairly strong. I don't have any of the data out right now as to what's driving things today, other than what we had seen, right? All the stuff we've talked about with respect to the economy and the markets and all that, putting the market looking like it's slowing down a little bit with the Fed raising rates and all that. It's pushing more capital back in the mortgage-backed securities, stabilizing things a little bit more. We're not seeing the extreme losses, but it doesn't change the fact that we're not at this major improvement piece either, right? So it's not like we're coming all of a sudden going back into the low sixes or something like that, or going into the fives. We're stabilizing. So there's going to be many that will say, well, may be tempted to ask and say, can I get a lower rate? There's really no lower rates to offer at the moment. So just know that at least we're not seeing them jumping up higher. We're not going deep into the sevens or something like that. Does it mean we're not going to get there? I can't say. I'm not certain. I don't know where we're going to end up in all this thing. We're in a really, really interesting predicament when it comes to what's going on in the economy and the markets, especially when it's like a conspiracy theorist's dream out there right now with all the stuff that's being said and the stupidity that tends to flow out of the mouths of the people that are supposed to be in charge of things, right? So every other time I hear Brandon speaking, or Kamal or any of the rest of them, holy crap, some of the stuff that they say would just make anybody believe, yeah, the whole world's being taken over and we have two idiots that are just puppets, whatever. So that could easily be thought. I have no idea what the reality is. I can't say. All I know is I get to see what people are saying, and you can't help but think that this is probably the time that they've been waiting for, with all the tin hat stuff that they've been doing over the years. But with respect to you and your real estate and your investments and your interest rates and all those things that you're worried about, let's get back to the one basic thing that I keep going back to with everybody. You have two jobs. You are the CEO of your real estate investment. You have two jobs, right? You need to pick the right people to work with, ones who are going to help you find the property in the various different markets, right? They're going to rehab them or build them. They're going to manage them. They're going to maintain them for you. You need to get a good team of people to do that, so know that you're being taken care of correctly, right? Your property's not being not looked over, right? Your business has to be watched over. That's your operations division. That comes for free. Wrap your head around that. That's free. Think about all the experience they have that you don't in that market. That's the free part. Sure, you're going to pay certain things for them, but you got to pay for the materials, you got to pay for the workers. You do that anyway, right? But you don't have to pay for the experience. You didn't have to go through the 20 or 30 years of getting your ass kicked and losing to get to the point where you know how to win, right? They've already done that for you. The next thing you got to do, of course, you got to pick the right lender. Here we are, right? That's why you're watching us. We're hoping that we're continuing to earn that business, that you feel confident in working with us and how we're doing this. Why I keep putting out the messages about the ARMs and the interest only being complete, just a way of sucking you into something that is not to your benefit. It's an easy sell. I can sell that stuff all damn day long. I just do not believe that is going to benefit you in the long term. It'll benefit me in the long term. Yeah, I get to churn you. But to me, that's not what it should be about. So you pick the right lenders to work with, right? All the people that is your job to pick those people. And when you talk about trying to measure people by cost, no CEO of any successful company ever hired department heads or hired other, like the chief operations officer or chief information officer, didn't hire those guys because they work for minimum wage. Remember that. So that's the other thing to think of. They don't become successful because they pinch on the people that they get. They get the best people they possibly can afford to get in there. Now, the next thing you want to get is the right business to buy, which is the right asset, the right property. You want it to write these things down. You want to keep reasonably rented the entire time you own it. And you want to be able to raise rents on it. If you cannot get that, then don't buy it. I don't give a crap what the cash on cash return model says. I don't care what your pro formas say. If you can't keep it rented, then you're not going to be able to pay for it, right? And if you can't raise rents on it, you can't utilize the benefit that comes from the compounding growth of your cash flow. You have the stagnant payment for 30 years, and it's that compound decline to the lender because of the deflating dollar due to inflation. Now, let's do this quick little equation. This is going to show you the bottom line. The bottom line. Actually, you can get my own calculator out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take we're going to do $100,000 property, so $100,000 purchase price, and we're going to do 80% loan to value because you can put 20% down, right? So that's an $80,000 loan. And then what you're going to do is you're going to divide that 80,000 by 30 because that's how long it's going to take your tenant to pay it off, right? If you did the right, what you're supposed to get the right people and then get one that a property stays reasonably rented. We divide that by 30, you get $2,666.66 is what you're going to find. So go ahead and check that math if you don't mind. And then you can divide that into what you invested in the property. Now this was 20% down, that's 20,000, right? And then you've got, let's say your closing costs, let's say $6,000. So you can divide that $2,666.67 into 26,000. You're going to find that's 10.2%. That means that your investment, the 26,000, will grow by 10.2% of the original 26,000 every single year you have somebody into it. Now, I know this is averaged over 30 years. There's an amortization table. You're going to pay mostly interest up front. I get all that, right? We're averaging this. But that means that 26,000 grows by $2,666.66 every single year you maintain that property. That doesn't matter if you get any cash flow, right? That's just if you keep it rented, and if it gets to the point where the money that comes in is just enough to cover the taxes, the insurance, and the maintenance on it, and the vacancy, but you never pull another dollar in, but you never put another dollar back out, that just grew $2,666.66 every single year, just because they're paying down the note, right? That's 10.2% of the original amount every single year added to it, right? So think about that. Put that on the shelf. You're getting that before anything else. We'll talk about cash flow on Tuesday and how you would look at, on Friday. I'd look at the cash flow piece with the compounding rents. And of course, then we'll talk about the inflation piece as well, kind of make this a little bit of a series. Sorry, I can't show you the charts. I'd love to show you, but we're slightly better than we were last week. So it keeps us in positive territory. So it's not like we're seeing anything that's going to go negative. So we need to stress about it, but lock it in. You got it within the 30 days of your close time. Lock it in. We don't want to put yourself at risk. We'll talk to you guys on Friday.